Well, welcome back, folks. And today what we're going to do is we're going to have yet another bonus episode. We're talking about lighting, and in 2 episodes, we're going to talk about masking. I decided that masking is maybe a little too complex for beginning filmmakers, so I wanted to do a kind of a masking primer episode. It's going to be very short, but let's get used to the concept. Masking is something that's very important. All filmmakers are going to have to do this when they try to take something out of the frame, something that they don't like in the clip. Maybe they want to put something into the clip that wasn't there. Masking is the way that they're going to have to do that. So it is very important.
Special effects.
What? Don't forget about special effects. Yeah. I was getting to it.
Okay.
And special effects. Special effects, you're going to do something like that, a lot of time you're going to have to do masking. So let's try to get through this and maybe we can understand a little bit more about what masking does. I could have done a split screen in order to create that special effect. That would have been very easy. You take one clip, you run it on the right hand side of the screen. You take the other clip, that was me in the red shirt, and you run it on the left hand side of the screen. If it works, you're done. It could not be easier. But in order to do that, it's best to do it against a green screen. What's this in the background? Is that a green screen? No, that's a white wall. That's probably the worst thing you can use.
Okay, so one of the problems you can see here in this slide is the two-tone or the vertical stripe down the middle. I'm trying to run Mr. Blue Shirt on the right side of the screen, Mr. Red Shirt on the left side of the screen, but the background just doesn't match up, and so you've got that vertical line down the middle. Now understand, I've already tried to color correct this slide and I couldn't do it. I just cannot get the background to match. So white balance issues reign supreme in this example. Now also, in this next slide, you can see other problems. Mr. Blue Shirt has his fingers cut off. And when you're dividing a screen in half, you're going to find out you just don't have enough real estate. So what I decided to do was to work on a frame-by-frame basis. I took the entire Mr. Red Shirt clip and just dumped it into individual slides or frames. And I decided I was going to combine Mr. Blue Shirt and Mr. Red Shirt together in a single frame. Now I already knew where the clip started, so I just needed to take the clips, dump them, and then combine them. So now one of the ways that we're going to do this is to open GIMP, and we've gone over this before. This is my graphics tool that I like to use. I'm going to pull up Mr. Red Shirt here, and I'm going to automatically go and select the background, because that white background is what's causing all the problems. So I'm going to use the fuzzy select tool. You can see it outlined with that red circle, and I'm going to click anywhere in the white background area, and voila, as you can see in this next slide, a little hard to see, but there's a dotted line that kind of outlines the white background. And I'm going to press delete, and look what happens. All of that white background is gone, and all that's left is myself, me and my shadow. Okay, what we've just done is we've created a mask, except we kind of skipped over that step. Look at this next slide here. You see the black and white? That's your classic mask. That's what we essentially were building. When you outline your subject and you paint it in white, you've created a mask of what you want to keep. Everything that's in black is what you want to delete. Okay, at this point we probably need to define some terms. Masking and rotoscoping. What is a mask? Well, masking we've already talked about, I've already shown you. What is rotoscoping? Rotoscoping is masking on a video clip. What I'm showing you is masking on one frame, frame by frame. But rotoscoping is using a VSE, video sequence editor like Adobe, like Final Cut Pro, and applying a mask to a video clip. I really am not going to say any more than that because it is a complicated topic, okay? I'm showing you frame by frame. And this is the result, okay? Not bad, right? At least at first glance. But if you look closely, you're going to see that some of the white wall in Mr. Redshirt's frame actually leaked through. And here in this next frame, I got it outlined in red. All of that red spots, there's a white line there. Now, you may not be able to see it in one frame, but when you string all 283 frames together, sure enough, you can see this white outline following my shadow, and that's not going to work. Unfortunately, this really was the best method I could find. So what did I have to do? I had to individually hand edit all of these frames where the white outline showed up.
You know, folks, I think the best learning experiences come from studying other people's mistakes and failures. It's a good thing to do so that you don't have to repeat those same mistakes. When you look at what I did in this video effect, what did I do wrong? What were the things that I did wrong that you can avoid? Number one, white background, that white wall. Yeah, bad choice. You know, I don't have any other wall besides a white wall, but white walls are going to give you trouble with white balance. Number two, shadows. Shadows on that white wall. The actors were too close to the wall. You need to pull your actors away from the wall. You need to get some light on the background wall to take those shadows away, because they are just going to come back to haunt you, as what happened to me, and I had to try and work around them, and it was very, very difficult. What's the third thing? Well, this one takes a little more thought, but if you think about the situation, I had to make a decision. Who gets masked? It's Mr. Blue Shirt or Mr. Red Shirt. I chose Mr. Red Shirt. Was that the right decision? Actually, it wasn't. It should have been Mr. Blue Shirt. Why? Because Mr. Blue Shirt doesn't move as much. Yeah, he's moving his head like this, he's moving his hand like that, but he's standing in the same place. What is Mr. Red Shirt doing? He's coming in and off the screen. That actually makes things a lot harder. So Mr. Blue Shirt should have been the one that got masked. Why didn't I do that? Actually, I tried. I did, but it didn't come out. It just did not look good. The background looked terrible. I won't go into all the details, but it had to do with the positioning of Mr. Blue Shirt. It just didn't work out. Therefore, I had to do Mr. Red Shirt and just deal with it. Okay, well, folks, if you want to see an example of a video effect kind of like this, but done by the pros and done very nicely, I've got a link down below. And this is a link to Michael Bublé singing a duet with the late Bing Crosby. They sing White Christmas. And you can see what this effect can do for you. Folks, until the next episode, we'll see you later. Aloha.